Welcome back, guys, to RollPlay R&D Season 3. We've created our characters, and now it's time to see how this game actually works. So,
Yeah.
Steven, how does this game actually work?
So, let's see here. First of all, I need to find out how we're going to get Neal an axe, because it's a very important part of his character.
Yes, it is.
He did put like every increase possible into his two-handed axe.
I built my character around having a great axe or a two-handed axe or
You don't
whatever.
really get to use two-handed axes in D&D, really.
There's a two-handed axe.
And like 2.0 even?
Yeah.
There's never seen one. I'll work it into my next character when I die.
They're pretty sweet. They do a lot of damage. They're slow as shit, though. But that's why you get the two-handed weapon proficiency, because then it decreases the weapon speed by 3. So.
Nice.
Let's see. Standard price lists. Axe. Is this a great axe?
This is a great axe.
That's 50 denarii. So let's see. Spears are
I
1
sell my
denarii.
cloak to pay for
Swords
it.
are 75 denarii. If you want, I'll let you take a great axe instead of your sword. And then I'll even give you 25 denarii left over.
Can I sell my spears?
For 1 denarii each.
Oh, that's no good. How about my valuable German cloak?
Do you really want to sell that priceless family heirloom?
I mean, I guess I could trade my sword for an axe, but then I need a backup weapon when my axe breaks when I... Alright, I mean, I'll do it. If that's the only way to do it, then I'll do it.
You can sell your heirloom, sure.
No, I'll sell the sword.
Okay.
I gotta go get some money, though, guys. And then I get how many denarii? 25?
Yeah. 25 denarii. Okay, let's get started here. So, the year is 490. Let me see. Oh, I should probably save this first session document so that I don't accidentally lose it.
What? I don't even understand Ergo's new image. What the fuck?
Are we allowed to change our names now, too?
Yeah,
That's because I got the +5 to horse handling.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Maggie, go ahead and change your names.
Yeah, so everybody change your names and let's introduce each other. Neal, who are you? Tell us about yourself.
I am William Onahan Gallery III. I am a fairly large man with a big, bushy red beard. I'm quite attractive, and I'm quite flirtatious with all the ladies. I am a great speaker. I use my deep voice to the best of my advantage. I'm fairly jovial, but also quite swift when it comes to things like justice and honor and whatnot. I take those very seriously, but I take life fairly lightly.
And you're actually known, throughout Salisbury as being incredibly just.
And valorous. I have a 16
and
in both.
valorous.
Yes. Yes.
You said you were a good speaker?
I have 15 in orator. Orate. Not quite 16, but
Oratory.
Awesome.
oratorial.
No, sounds good.
I
Where do you hail from, William?
I
Monahan Gallery
hail
III?
from Dinton, where I learn the ways of the court with my 15 in courtesy, and where I talk with the common folk, which gives me a 15 in folklore.
Awesome.
I do love the tournaments. I go to them whenever I can, and I hope I do well because I have a 14 in tournaments, and all my other stats are shit.
Now, Neal, was there any specific passion that you wanted William Monahan Gallery to have that we didn't get to create in character creation?
What sorts of passions can I have?
So generally, passions are things like love of someone, hatred of someone, fear of someone or something, things like that. Let me see if I can find you a couple of examples here.
Is there any reason to pick what are the gameplay effects of picking a negative passion over a positive one, like fear of heights as opposed to, love of something?
I might ask you to roll against your passion in certain situations where it's obviously useful. Fears, unlike other passions, never give benefits. They are an exception to the normal passion rules. Nor glory is gained. Fear passion serves only to place the character out of the player's control during specific situations.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right. I would like to have a I guess you can't have like a passion for flirting, but I would take a passion for is there any like climbing the social ladder?
You could have
Oh.
a love of women.
But I would like the social ladder more because I got the courtesy, I got the flirting. I could have a love of women. I guess that's
Let's
Medieval
see here.
networking, like it's
Generally, you
social.
get-
Yeah, like what?
well
is
because
that?
like I spend a lot of time at core. I want to I want to rise quickly in the ranks. He's an
Yeah.
ambitious person. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Socially ambitious, politically ambitious.
I don't know that quite falls under a passion. Passions are things like
Screw it.
fear, hate,
Passion of women.
loyalty.
Passion of women. Love them.
Yeah. Let's see. How about a directed trait? Maybe that makes sense. Passions are so fun. You just go crazy. It's awesome. Directed traits: weakness for blondes, mistrust of so-and-so, mistrust of London residents, unjust toward Malahotes, loves mead, fears boars. I think I could give you a directed trait, which is enjoys, courtly intrigue or something like that. Loves courtly relations.
Actually, can I do a passion of solo combat?
Passion for solo combat.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
I like.
So I'm gonna give you let's see, person, group, or god. I don't think I can give you a passion for solo combat, but I can give you a directed trait for it.
Sweet. Done.
So take a directed trait, loves solo combat. Let me see if I can figure out exactly how these are.
Hatred for Protoss, maybe.
Amen, brother.
Not even fair.
You apply the numeric value of the trait, the directed trait, as a modifier on appropriate trait rolls. So I would say you have a love of solo combat +3. And in situations where you're facing solo combat, you get a +3 to your roll.
Cool.
Yeah. So how about JP? Who are you? Introduce yourself.
My character's name is Emrys. Emrys.
Okay.
My father's name was Beryl. We grew up in Broughton, and he, I guess over time, I have a river next to this, but would there be boats on this river? Because I don't
Absolutely.
really. Okay, then we grew up as. He was well known for like controlling the any. What am I trying to say? Any vessel that came through the rivers of Broughton, and because of that, I grew up around boats. So I have a love for swimming, not a passion, but a love for swimming and boating. But I also enjoy war, and that was one of the other things. Is he was super important when it came to making sure that certain armies got certain things through all of the trade routes of the different rivers that I guess go throughout this land. And I would always want to fight in wars, but I would never be able to until I guess I became squired or knighted. And we can deal with that later.
And what are you known for throughout the land?
And that's just the personality traits, right?
Yeah.
Or is it- okay, so I guess I would.
Anything that's like 15 or higher is something that people might know about you.
Oh, okay. I would guess I'm known for the size and strength, because I have 17 size and 18 strength. Also for just combat in general, 15 sword, 15 lance, and I guess people have seen the my hawk flying from city to city with me as well.
Yeah. And
Oh,
you
and
are
I'm
very
the
otherworldly, right?
yes, I'm also the champion swimmer of Broughton, and that might be known throughout the lands.
Do you want a directed trait of love of swimming?
Yeah, sure,
Love of boating, let's say.
sure.
And I'll give you a +3. So just write down directed trait, love of boating, +3.
Okay.
Cool. Maggie, how about you?
Oh, I am Sir Ronald Uthbert. I am from Inmiston, and I'm well known amongst people throughout the lands of having a weakness for redheads, and I'm pretty good at jousting with my lovely lance, which is quite blessed. Um, People may know me because I also have a love of poetry, so I get really into that. Although I am really well spoken, I do have a very high pitched voice, which is odd for a male who has gone through puberty already. So I get a little bit of looks and, glances from that. But the words that come out of my mouth, people just, they can overlook that from time to time. I have a large, bushy beard that is often ungroomed. But you know what? I just deal with it. I'm very valorous. People have known me for that. That's one of my main traits, along with the lustfulness. Beyond that, I do quite a bit of horsemanship. So me and my lovely horse Gwen, we're pretty close. And beyond that, my family, on the other hand, has been through many troubles. My mother had smallpox, and she almost died, and it was a very hard time for me and my family. So we had to, we were doing our best to, putting all our money into trying to keep her healthy and get doctors and try to make her, unsick as well as. So I kind of have a fear of smallpox too. I kind of have a fear of losing people that I'm really close to, and I really love my family.
Do you want to take a passion of love of redheads?
Sure.
Okay. Write down under your passions love of redheads, and then roll 2d6.
All right, 2d6.
Oh,
What
God.
is this? What is this 2d6 for exactly?
That's the amount of passion you have for redheads. You have an
Oh.
11, which is pretty significant.
Nice.
You have a noticeable thing where redheads are concerned. Good. And
I make
DJ
sure to
Wheat.
keep him away from my sisters.
So, my character entering into the world of Pendragon's name is Quinn Leventhorpe, and he is from Berwick, St. James, and really has a much sadder story, I think, than the other three players thus far, in that his father, who fought for King Uther, and we have our family connection through the Earl Roderick of Salisbury, but fought for King Uther in the battle of Salisbury, which happened in the year 480, and he died. And it was sort of me to take over the household. But in the year 482, which is also the year that I ended up being, my character ended up being squired, the Saxons, they raided our manor. They killed his mother, the two brothers, and my sister is the only one aside from me who I believe has escaped. And as far as I know, has just escaped into the world of the fairies, let's say. And that has pretty much fueled me from that point. In becoming a knight was to uphold the family name, seeing that my father could no longer carry it, but fueled more by the vengeance towards the Saxons, as well as trying to find my sister, Thea Leventhorpe. And thus the reasoning for my hunting and my recognize and lore and fairy lore, etc., etc.
Is your sister a redhead by chance?
No. In fact, both characters, both Quinn and Thea, who happen to be twin, both long, sort of thin black hair. Obviously not as long on Quinn, but very, very distinct in that when they're together, they just look like you could tell sort of that they were twins. They were related.
Yeah. Great.
And so, if anything, I want just a passion to find out, what happened to my sister. Like, I cannot let that die, no matter what. That's always driving me in some way, shape, or form.
I would give you a directed trait, love of your sister,
Okay.
+3. And so, for any task where your sister is concerned, you can call on your love for your sister and gain the bonus of that directed trait. Actually, you know what? Would you like a passion of loyalty to your sister?
I mean, what would be the difference? What would be?
So a directed trait is just like a small bonus whenever you're like doing something related to that thing, whereas a passion is like it's a huge thing for you. If you're calling on your passion, you can perform superhuman feats or fall into superhuman depressions.
Yes, I want a passion.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to see if loyalty or love is more appropriate. I think it should be love. Loyalty generally is for groups. So yeah, love of your sister. And then roll 2d6.
Okay. 6.
6. So you have a love of your sister worth of 6. That's a passion. All right, so let's see here. No, not that one. This one. All right, so the year is 490. And in the year 490, court is being held at Warwick in Wirensis. We zoom in on a cluster of ladies sitting by the fire in the evening. One of them turns to the other. She's wearing like a tight black hat that like wraps around the bottom of her face. It almost looks like a nun's habit, but like the rest of her clothes are all long and flowing and ornate. And she turns to the one next to her and says, "Well, I'll say, isn't that Duchess a piece of something? I've heard she was just a peasant girl who Gorlois picked up because of her beauty. It's all makeup, you know." The woman next to her turns to her as she knits and says, "That's a lie. She's from noble blood going back 30 mothers. The queen of the land under the waves was her ancestress. That is why she's so pretty. And have you tried to talk to her? Her household kept me away like I was a goblin or something. What presumption. I'm from Queen's blood too, way back. Don't you think there are more important things than gossip about that witch? The Saxon army, the one led by giants, is even closer. The king's so worried that he has the whole army here. But not just to guard us, dearie. They're going to go fight the Saxons and settle this once and for all. Don't you ever talk to anyone but us?" "Yes, of course I do. But don't you think it's too dangerous? What if he loses? We've lost plenty of times before, you know. Lose, win, and then have men killed, but don't lose the battle. How does that work? Listen, darlings, I am sure this will be the last one. All the dukes will be here. By this time next year, we'll either be at peace or working as Saxon slave girls. But just go to mass and pray for them, instead of standing here and keeping us from talking about the Duchess. Say, did you see the worn hem on that white satin outfit?" The talk in the realm is all of Duke Gorlois' new wife, the Duchess Igraine, and how beautiful she is, and how wonderful she looks, and how perfect a couple they make together. In the meantime, you are all, let's see, zooming through things very quickly here. You are all, if you look at the map, you're at Vagon, which is the town that's circled in red down here.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
And sooner or later, I will be able to find what I'm looking for in this document. Yes. So let's see. You're all here at Vagon Castle. Inside inside the castle, you're standing with a man named Sir Elad. He's a small man, but he is muscle bound. He's aged. He's probably in his mid-50s, and his skin is very tanned.
Okay. What is our relation to this man?
He is he's the castellan of Vagon Castle and marshal to the Earl of Salisbury, and he is in charge of training the best of the squires to be knights and directing their activities. He's been training you along with whatever knights or family members you've been working with, and he's also the guy in charge of the Earl of Salisbury's small army. He turns to you and he says, "Well, my friends, let's see if I can get these names right. Quiln? djWHEAT?
Quinn.
Quinn. Yep. My handwriting is awful. Quinn, William, Emrys, and Ronald, come with me. We have heard some interesting news, and I would like you to listen into it, but first we must, of course, attend to our training, as we do every day. Now, come out into the courtyard with me. And he leads you out through the halls of the castle and into a courtyard where the ground is strewn with rushes. It's open to the air. It's a bright, sunny, early spring day. He turns to you and he says, today's activity is martial practice and training, no exception from usual. So would each of you please go and mount your fastest and most powerful horse, and we will practice our lancing against these targets over here. And he points across the courtyard where you see two targets. One of them is a quintain, which is a vertical post with a rotating horizontal arm. On the end of it, there's a shield, and on the other side, there's a rope with a stone tied to it. All of you know the quintain from your various experiences getting whacked in the back of the head. And the other one is a static target that's simply a post with a shield on it. Really quick, djWHEAT, what is your current glory?
My current glory is 173.
Neal, what's your current glory?
169.
JP?
170.
Maggie?
167.
Okay. Sir Elad turns to you, Quinn, and he says, "Well, Mr. Quinn, how old are you, Quinn, by the way?"
23.
23. William, you're 26, yes?
Yes.
Emrys, you're 25?
23.
23. And Ronald, are you 23 as well?
25.
25. That's what it is. Okay. Sir Elad turns to you, Quinn, and he says, "Well, young Quinn, though you are one of the youngest of this crew of rather elderly squires, I have to say your name is being bandied about the castle a little more than the others. Why don't you show us what you can do with the lance? Tilt first at the static target with the shield on top, and then second at the quintain. Please, show us how it's done." So, djWHEAT.
I will mount my horse.
What's your horse's name?
Gosh. My horse's name is Butters.
Butters. Okay. What does your horse look like? Is this your charger?
This is my charger.
Okay.
It's white with brown spots. It's pretty normal looking horse. It's very healthy, for as healthy as a horse can be.
Healthy as a horse. Fantastic. Would you roll against your lance skill? So
Yes.
you're going to roll a d20 and try to get less than or equal to your lance skill. And as Price is right, closer without going over is better.
Okay. So I suppose upon my mounted horse, I pick up my lance and begin charging.
Mm-hmm.
And I roll a 5.
That's fantastic. You strike the target cleanly, and the shield spins around so it doesn't break. There's a resounding crack that echoes through the courtyard, and Sir Elad claps. He says, "Well done, Quinn. Now, to the other end. Go, strike at the quintain, and try not to let the rock hit you this time." How does it make you feel that he's referencing other times the rock has hit you?
I'm a young squire. I thrive to be better, and I know I can be. And even though I have 173 glory, damn it, I know that I can get more than that. So I will go at it, and I will focus all of my energies into the tip of that lance, struddling down, struddling. I don't know. Yeah, galloping down towards the target, and an 18.
All right, so you end up striking the target, and the rock swings around and cracks you on the shoulder. You don't fall out of your saddle, but you are a little bit unseated, and it bruises you pretty soundly. No actual damage or anything. None of you are wearing armor right now. It's just training, but it looks like it hurt. Sir Elad sort of like sucks on his teeth, and he turns to. He turns to Emrys and he says, Emrys, think ye can do any better? Now, get in your saddle, strike the static target, and then down to the other end of the courtyard, strike that quintain, and show Sir Quinn how it is done. Did I say Sir Quinn? By my troth, I think I misspoke.
Before he finishes, I'm already mounted and riding down towards the first target.
All right. What's your lance skill?
15.
All right, you give it a sound to strike. It sounds like you were even closer to the center than Quinn was. Sir Emrys cheers you on. He says, now quickly, to the other end, strike the quintain. Take care.
Ooh, it's at least a hit.
Absolutely. No, that's fine. You crack it soundly and duck as the rock comes swinging over your shoulder. You pull your horse up on the other side. Sir Elad cheers at you. He says, well done, Sir Elad. He turns to William. He says,
Vash, to me, I say as he just starts looking at me, and I go hop on my horse.
Eager as ever, William. Well, for a man of your age, I don't blame you. Quickly, show us what you can do.
18.
Oh, man.
There's a reason I took a while to get here.
That's a miss, right?
Yes, I have 15 minutes.
Sir Elad, he shouts down the courtyard. He shouts, come now, William, come. Surely you can do better than that. These are important times we live in. Oh, yeah, excellent. You strike the quintain. The rock doesn't hit you, and your horse actually like raises its head a little proudly and sort of like does a little trotting dance after you strike the quintain.
I pat Vash on the neck.
Elad claps and he says, very well done. It seems that static targets are not your forte. Ronald, why don't you show us your skill with the lance? I hear that you have some skill with the lance, eh? And he like nudges you in the shoulder.
Oh yeah. All right.
A solid strike.
Horsemanship too.
Yeah, so you strike the static target without any problem, turning the corner and galloping down towards the quintain. Roll for that lance strike. Oh, very well done. Sir Elad claps, cheers all four of you on, and says, well, the four of you have done quite well, with, perhaps one or two exceptions here, but keep practicing, my boys, keep practicing. You'll only get better at this as time goes on. Now, how about a horse race?
I pat Gwen, my horse. She's golden, and I'm like, I nod. I'm totally in.
Awesome. So all of you should have a token at the top of this page in Roll20.